First of all, Lukasz, congratulations for 5 years now at Point of Rental. Um,
Thanks.
Before we get to talking about your career here, let's do like a 1 minute quick recap for the people that missed your welcome interview. What were you doing before you got to Point of Rental, and how has that helped you here?
Oh, so immediately before joining Point of Rental, I worked at a charity, at a genocide memorial charity in London, where I did a bit of Salesforce work, bit of admin work, a little bit of public engagement.
That sounds like a pretty heavy job. So,
It was interesting. It much more than my time at Point of Rental. It had times of just absolute frenzy at work, where like December, January, we would be pulling super long days, and work would always be with you, while it had a lot of long, slow periods when not a lot happened.
yeah.
Compared to that, Point of Rental has been I must say, I'm never bored. I'm never short on things to do, but I'm never harried and having to pull in 12-hour days.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad you're not having to do these 12-hour days. That does not sound fun at all. So, how did you hear about Point of Rental, and what did you come here to do initially?
I've heard about Point of Rental the usual way, just a job advert. It was actually, it came to this another company I was interested in, but the other company asked me to do some asinine 3 hour long practical exam thing to build something in Salesforce, and I got halfway through it and decided isn't that reasonable? I'm just not going to finish it. And then after that I've met with Eric, and we got a good report going right away.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good time, and I promised them to run D&D for them one of these days if they hired me. So so yeah, got that
so,
job instead.
so it's a bit more agreeable than doing 3-hour projects unpaid
Yes,
just for fun.
yes. They seem to know their stuff, and ask me a bunch of technical questions, so we were able to quickly understand like what's expected of me, and what's the job like. And initially, I was hired as a Salesforce administrator in a much more junior role. It was essentially, we had a massive backlog of Salesforce cases in the hundreds, some of them from months back, since we haven't been able to keep up with the sheer volume.
Yeah.
And all I've been tasked for is prioritizing UK requests and trying to clear as much of that backlog as possible. And I'm very happy to say, for years now, we haven't had such a backlog. We're keeping on top of things, and this months deep backlog is a thing of distant past, and probably very few people even remember ever existed.
Good. Well, yeah, it's good to know that hopefully we're not going back. We're not going to have that situation again. So yeah, you mentioned, I know that you are on the Salesforce team. What is it that you're doing like now at 5 years in?
All right, so Salesforce team has morphed into the RevOps team now. So my job description has changed naturally over time. It's now still admin for part of it, so I still handle day-to-day tasks, help people with the technical issues, make little tweaks when necessary, but also I handle a lot more development, both for Salesforce native items and various integrations that feed into Salesforce or that Salesforce requires.
Okay. What's something that you've changed your opinion on in the 5 years since you've been here? As you learn more, as you grow, sometimes your opinions change on things. So what's something that's changed in your mind?
I suppose I used to be much more in favor of everybody working very independently. I didn't have much time for meetings, and I was of the opinion that as long as you give somebody clear parameters for the work you want them to complete, deadlines and so on, you can just kind of leave them to it. They're responsible adults. They're going to get it done. And yes, I mean, there might be responsible adults, and everybody I've worked with has been good at what they're doing. A little bit more collaboration than that does actually produce better results. Our team now meets more, discusses our work more, and documents it more than we used to, which I probably would have seen as a waste of time at one point, but it has produced better results.
Awesome. Yeah, I can totally relate with that. And there's so many things where it's like, okay, what I wanted at the beginning, it turns out like with some extra knowledge and some extra things that are going on, it turns out we could make it even better by doing this. Okay, let's pretend this is an awards show. You're on stage. Who would you like to thank to helping you get where you are after 5 years at Point of Rental?
All right, this is probably cliche, but I would like to thank my entire team. The faces have changed slightly over the years, but the core of the team is still there, and they have always been supportive. They have always covered each other's backs. Everybody has tried their very best to grow as requirements have changed and as new expectations have been placed on us, and couldn't have done this without all their help. Special shout out to Eric and Kirk for the peerless leadership of the RevOps team.
Awesome. Yeah, I do like your guys' little team, and I like popping into some of your chats, and it's like, wow, these guys really work well together.
And they're always good fun.
Yeah. All right, as a wise, learned pointer, since you've been here for 5 years, if you could only deliver one message to a new pointer and they would instantly like receive it and apply it to their jobs, what would you tell them?
I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is a good learning environment. Your team has your back. Everybody, when you're new here, they understand that you need to grow. Nobody is going to go after you because you've made one or two mistakes that just, come from inexperience or from a misunderstanding. So do your best, ask for help when you need it, and you're going to be great.
Awesome. I'm going to ask a secret extra question here, and then we'll do a proper sign off later. I noticed that you have a very nice microphone. What is the purpose of that microphone? It can't just be for like regular Salesforce calls. What's going on?
Oh God. So, as you might have noticed, I am a massive nerd. As mentioned D&D in my hiring interview with Eric. Mm-hmm. So I sometimes run games online, and I do a little bit of voice recording as well. I have a couple of friends who are musicians, so I don't do music myself, but I help them record samples sometimes if they need some vocal work.
Nice. I was wondering, maybe I'll ask for some links, and maybe we'll be able to share those internally. Maybe not. Maybe you want to keep your personal things personal, and I respect that. All right, cool. Well, thank you for joining me today. Again, congratulations on 5 years at Point of Rental, and I'll see you in another 5.
Fantastic. Thanks.